Hey guys, Kevin Francisco here from yugatech.com, and today we'll be taking a look at all the Zenfone 3 variants from Taipei, Taiwan, where ASUS officially launched the much-awaited Zenfone 3. Let's go! The Zenfone 3 features a Full HD Super IPS display which sports a 77% screen-to-body ratio compared to the Zenfone 2, which is at 72%. Additionally, there are chrome trimmings surrounding the entire device which add a bit of bling into the handset. The corners are curved, reminiscent of the Zenfone Zoom, and is made using what appears to be the same high-class material. At the left-hand side, we have the compartment for the SIM card and the memory expansion via microSD. At the back, we have the 16-megapixel camera as its main shooter, right above the rectangular fingerprint sensor. It is also flanked by the dual LED flash, together with a sensor for its Tritech AF system. The entire back panel sports the company's concentric circle design that shows different light accents depending what angle you look at. What's interesting here is that the back plate is protected by glass and veers away from the previous plastic material. This is a big step for the company since it looks and feels more premium. Measuring at only 7.69mm in width, it is a lot thinner than the Zenfone 2, which is at 10.9mm. What we notice is that the rear camera is protruding so it doesn't lay flat on a surface. Inside, this variant of the Zenfone 3 carries a Snapdragon 625 CPU partnered with 3GB of RAM and 32GB of internal storage. The handset runs on Android M with the company's Zen UI 3.0. What differs between the 5.2 inches and the 5.5-inch variant of the Zenfone 3 is its RAM, internal storage, and battery. Aside from those, everything else is pretty much the same. Meanwhile, we have the Zenfone 3 Deluxe, which boasts an all-metal unibody that screams premium quality from the get-go. The top and bottom panel, sandwiching the 5.7 Super AMOLED display, is made of a shiny metal that continues the company's own concentric circle design language. Underneath, we have the lone USB Type-C port, situated in the middle right beside the speaker grill. With only 4.2mm at its thinnest edge, the Zenfone 3 Deluxe compensates for its big display by being slim enough and easy to hold even with one hand. Locations of the power and lock buttons, volume rocker, and the SIM slot remain the same as the Zenfone 3. It also has the protruding rear camera as seen from this angle. Speaking of cameras, the 23-megapixel main shooter is placed right smack in the middle. It's interesting to note that ASUS used sapphire glass to protect the camera, which is stronger than Gorilla Glass. It runs on a speedy Snapdragon 820 processor, carries a whopping 6GB of RAM, has a spacious 128GB of internal storage, and quickly recharges its 3000mAh battery using Qualcomm's Quick Charge 3.0 technology. And finally, we have the Zenfone 3 Ultra. Just like the Deluxe, the Ultra sports a full metal body that houses its large 6.8-inch Full HD IPS display. And unlike the three other variants, the capacitive buttons only come in tandem, with home being a physical button. You can find the volume rocker housed in a familiar place at the back panel a la Zenfone 2. Although instead of the rear camera and its accompanying tools being situated right above, they are now squeezed over to the upper left corner. The camera can also be seen as toned down in terms of size compared to the Zenfone 3 and Zenfone 3 Deluxe. The company headlines both the Deluxe and the Ultra to be the first ever smartphones to have an all-metal build and an invisible antenna feature. We usually see these antenna bands creating a segment on the body of the handsets, but ASUS is proud to say that they were able to create a way to hide them. So what you get is a solid piece of chassis with no interruptions dividing the overall design. Up front, we have the 8-megapixel camera similar to the Zenfone 3 and Zenfone Deluxe. The Zenfone 3 Ultra has a dual SIM setup, and the trays are seen on the right side of the handset, just next to the power and lock screen button. ASUS hit another first as it supports HDMI DisplayPort. Flanking that are grills where music from its dual 5-magnet speakers come from. The ASUS Zenfone 3 Ultra is not for everyone due to its gigantic form factor. Although if you're a multimedia person who always find yourself watching videos, playing games, or viewing files, then it's something you would definitely enjoy. This has been Kevin Francisco, and thanks for watching. Until next time, guys.